Okay, I think we're live, guys. It gives me great pleasure to introduce you to Nikki, one of my clients who I've actually now finished with, but she's had amazing success. Let me tell you a little bit about her, and then she can intro herself to you just so that you know what position she was in before we met. And then we'll go through the story of what she actually did implement and how life is now, because I'm sure there's plenty of you that are in the same situation and wondering what it is that you really could do, literally. Nikki's a mother of two. She's incredibly intelligent. She also has a very high paying job. So she works outside being a personal trainer. And when I met her, she was a 100% online trainer. And she'd previously been a business owner of quite a big business and was really scared that the personal training business might potentially flop in the same experiences that she had in her last business. Now, that's not to say there's anything wrong with Nikki. If you've had a couple of businesses and had a few goes at things before, you understand that they actually just don't all succeed. And then often it's not until you get the right amount of help from the right people in the right situation and, the stars align that it all works out. So Nikki, thank you so much for doing this for me today. And if I'm looking around my screen, it's because there's multiple things running and people commenting potentially at the same time. But please let everybody know online what it is that you do. What do you do?
Yeah, sure. So, well, my business is called Mummy Fit Time. So I focus on training mums, young children, postnatal mums, etc. And yeah, like you said, I am an online trainer, but since having worked with you, I'm now a face-to-face trainer as well. So I've moved into that modality as well. I guess like you said, I have had a business in the past, and that business just had not been set up to work with my way of life now, which is as a mum and working around my I guess mum life. So with your help, Kate, I've been able to really bring my current business, Mummy Fit Time, restructure it as well, so that it is something that works around my life, and I'm no longer working from a place of fear and not being able to expand my business because of the fear that I was holding that it may not work with me having children, etc. So, yeah, that's me.
Okay, I'm getting goosebumps. It's funny the amount of up leveling that you've actually done. We'll get into why that has happened and how it all makes sense to people. But everybody who hasn't done it is really wanting a set of tools. Tell me what to do. What do I have to do? But as you know yourself, you can get the tools. Everybody can get the tools, but the amount of fear of the work that you do on yourself as you step into executing those things. And that's what she's done, folks, consistently, to the point where there's so much up leveling going on. I know even her own hormones and everything have been a little bit disrupted. And
Yeah.
it's interesting, isn't it, how it really does impact everything
Yeah.
when you are up leveling. It really does. It's been an amazing journey actually to watch.
Yeah.
So what, if anything, I guess, what was there actually a rock bottom moment or a single point of fear where you actually decided that, oh, I've just got to do something about this, and then you came in contact with something of mine?
There wasn't, I guess, a single point of fear. I knew that I needed to change the way that I do business, and I really, when I came to you, I was just looking at ways that I could expand online, because I was finding that I was getting to a point of burnout, because I had a good amount of online clients, but I just didn't know how to expand beyond that. So that's where the place that I was at when I came to you. And I actually stalked you for a good year before I ended up
Oh, that's right, because someone else put us in touch. Yep.
yeah. So Sam Gemmell recommended you about it must have been 2 years ago now. Yeah, and then I did one of your like a mini course that you did. I think it was like a Facebook course or something like that. Oh gosh, it would have been in November of last year. And then what what ultimately made me decide to work with you is that you were offering a one-on-one free chat, and I thought, well, it's not going to hurt to just have a free chat. So I had the free chat, and just the way that you, I guess, identified the different things that were going on with me, and you were able to see what fears that I was holding without me even realizing what those fears were, and you being able to break things down to me as they were. And you pretty much, I remember very clearly you saying, if you keep going the way you're going, it's going to take you 10 years before you reach your goal. And that really hit home, because I was like, damn, I've set up my business so that I can be at home with my children. I don't want my children to be grown up before my business starts to actually flourish. So I guess that was my turning point of, okay, yeah, I need to put something in practice now. I need to commit to something now, and I just need to be open to having my butt kicked, because I was ready for my butt to be kicked, but you didn't kick my butt. You just did it in this really gentle way that just made complete sense. So, yeah.
It's funny, isn't it? I was telling someone the other day, and that's the same with all coaches. Like, we're always so positive and reaffirming and all the rest of it. But at the end of the day, if the client doesn't want it more than you do, you can't really do it for them. So it's, all hats off to you. It is because you're a hard worker, but the work flows when it's, and now I know that that's the space that you're in as well. It's much easier. Like you said at the start, you're coming at it from a place of you're not in fear anymore. Let's talk about that. It's so exciting. So had you done any courses before? Had you had any results doing any courses, or had you learnt from anybody else before?
No, I haven't worked one-on-one with a business mentor before. In my previous business, I had worked with a life coach, but that wasn't solely business. So yeah, coming in to work with a business mentor and a business coach was a new experience for me. I've done courses before, and I've done online courses before. I'd done courses in sales before, and a lot of those tactics just did not sit well with me. So as I'm sure that you can understand, there was just, it just felt icky. So it was a new experience, I guess, jumping in and taking the leap to work with a business coach, but certainly opened up my eyes more than any textbook could or online course could.
And may I say, Nikki is one of those rare, probably 2% of the population. I think most people aren't like this, even if they're really well self-driven. She would actually do the course to the nth degree as well. I just know your personality, wouldn't you? You would have actually gone through every document you were ever sent and every membership site page and implemented the stuff, and scratching your head wondering why it's not working or whatever, that it just actually feels hard.
Yeah.
And that's what I guess there's a lot of material out there, and it's not built for somebody that has 2 children that are actually very little. And by the way, there's one at home today. So if we get interrupted, it's because Nikki's got to give him a cuddle, because they seem to always find the room that you're in, even if you're in the toilet.
Yeah,
and it is a matter of.
So he's not the happiest child.
Oh, I've jinxed too. So, and I know it's a year on now, and that's like, the course doesn't last for a year or anything, but I've just kind of let you come to fruition. And even though a while ago you made me your own video of this is how good I've done. So you should have been skeptical. Everybody that's clever should be skeptical anyway. So skeptically, you tried it. And then what would you say were some of your bigger wins or bigger realizations?
My biggest win was, I guess, moving into face-to-face as well as online. So I'd say for me, that was my biggest realization, but I think pre-bit of that would be, you worked with me I was hiding online. So
Hiding? Did you say?
Yeah, hiding. So I was messaging people rather than, so prospective clients, for example, messaging rather than having conversations. I was thinking that just putting some ads out on Facebook would be the way to go. Whereas what you did is you really encouraged me to have face-to-face contacts. So that you encouraged me to do seminars and then start face-to-face sessions as well as the online. And build relationships. That was the key thing there, was the building relationships with people. And I think that I've lost the question that you asked, but I think that was my biggest light bulb moment.
Yeah, what were some of the bigger wins early on? But can I say that's because it's funny. Most people are in the opposite situation to you. They're face to face and they're trying to launch online. And what I've realized with all of you, and sometimes you need the mirror held up in front of your face to show you this, is that if you don't believe that you can do the thing, you won't be able to do the thing. And it's very hard to become the thing, journal about the thing, reaffirm the thing with your mantras and whatever else if you're not actually doing the thing because you don't believe you can do the thing. That's why we use that. Let's do this a little bit of face-to-face with you. And then as a result, it's, I don't know, did you say the other day it's like times 8? Your monthly income or something random?
My monthly income has times 8, and my business is kind of reversed. So sorry.
No,
I've got more face-to-face clients right now than I do online, which is great. But yeah, it really just flipped my mentality in terms of what I can and can't do. There's no real rules really, but yeah.
I love it. And most people are after, I just need the list, aren't they?
Yeah.
And there can be a list. Actually, everybody has a different list. Everyone definitely has a different list. That was yours. But guys, if you're wondering why we flipped it and she did some face-to-face, it was literally just to build belief. Because if you don't have it, it's impossible. Yeah, it's not about somebody kicking your ass and making you do it, because, with your own clients, you can tell them to do the thing and they'll either choose to do the thing or they won't do the thing. And it's only the ones that do the thing that actually get the result. So it's manipulating, I guess, the scenario to get results so that they continue to do the thing.
Yeah.
So were you happy with the level of support, considering you've had done a lot of courses before?
Yeah. Definitely happy with the level of support, because you weren't just, and you still aren't just a face or a name that I am responding to. We're chatting weekly, and now we've moved into chatting monthly. But that was, I think, going through the course and the amount of up leveling that you were doing. And it might be this for men too, but I know women particularly like to just talk things through. And sometimes I would get off a session, a call with you, and just think I've just completely vented and let out my entire brain at you. But that support was probably exactly what I needed to be able to properly upskill the way that I have done.
It's funny, isn't it? It's a place of vulnerability of, hey, I don't know. All right. And I applaud you, because I know what it's like to be on the receiving end. It's hard to do. That's the hard bit to do. It's not the list of things to follow. It's hard to be. It's hard to be vulnerable.
That's exactly it. I think was the vulnerability, because the support that you provided allowed me to be vulnerable. Whereas if I'd just done an online course or a textbook, you don't have that same amount of vulnerability, because you might not admit stuff to yourself the way that you admit it to when you're actually talking to a human.
Isn't it funny? So are there any business strategies that you want to mention? Like, there's so many things that you do now from a business perspective with your business that's not just online. So you've mentioned the face-to-face, and I know recently you ran an event, like a couple of day retreat, and then now you've sold out the next one kind of accidentally before even putting it out there.
Yeah.
And all from the position of, okay, plenty of people would have run these things before, but it's the way you were as a person and what you've done that's done that. It's not because she worded the Facebook event, which she didn't run an ad for, but it's not because she worded the event in a certain way or she learned a script.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, I guess the biggest strategy is just letting it happen and allowing it to happen and being confident in knowing that it will happen the way that I want it to happen. And I know that sounds really weird in terms of a business strategy. It almost sounds a bit woo-woo type business strategy, but it really was, I guess, things will unfold provided that I have been consistent with all the other stuff. And we drew on this last phone conversation we had. In fact, I then went and did a podcast about this. But consistency. And I think that if we're going for the ultimate business strategy, I think that would be the consistency in just providing my message to people, consistency in building my relationships, consistency in doing the mind work, whether that is taking the space for me to reflect on the work that I am doing. Yeah, does that answer that?
Yes, it does, totally. I'm just smiling because you're multitasking like brilliantly, because I couldn't multitask if I've been caught in the background.
And the remote in my hand and I'm changing channels.
You guys that have multiple little ones, yeah, it's amazing. And so may I also add, she's built this whole thing around another job and a mother and a relationship. So yeah, totally hats off. And I know if people like you can do it, then, and I've got girls that have got 5, or I've got one that's got 6 children.
Yeah.
Crazy girls. Then it can be done. It's a matter of you wanted it. So if you fast forward to today, and like now you've got even better results, obviously. What's life like? Like, how do you foresee the future? How do you feel about everything that's going on?
Yeah. Fast forward, life is really good, like really happy. I'm not stressed. I feel confident that the income that I need is coming in. So in a money sense, I'm no longer coming from a place of fear either. I sort of feel like I think ultimately I feel successful would be the big thing there. I guess at the beginning of working with you, I just felt like I wasn't doing enough, whereas now I do feel like I'm doing enough. And the little things that we've made changes with in my business is helping me to, I guess, feel that, because I know that, I've just seen a huge change, I guess, a huge change in my business and my, what's the word I'm going for?
The results. That's okay. You got results. You can give him a cuddle, by the way. It's all right. It's allowed to be on camera as long as you don't mind.
You want me to change the channel, don't you? All right.
Could be worse. Could be a nappy. He could be changing it himself. I was talking to one of my online contractors the other day, and she's like, she's just changed a nappy on the floor herself. That's great. It was everywhere. So she had to go. Is there anything else that you want to add? I so appreciate when you guys do this for me, because there's so many people that are in your position.
Yeah. I think the only thing that I want to add for anyone that is watching this video is, if you are thinking about taking the jump and you've been uncertain about taking the jump, certainly do take the jump. Don't be concerned about money. I was certainly in a place for a while of, I can't afford to do this because I don't have any money. But just having my initial chat with you, Kate, and we actually broke down money, and I saw that it was actually an achievable thing for me, then yeah, that was sort of the thing that helped me jump over the edge too. And just trust that, you know, if you're ready to make this change, then definitely, yeah, it's well worth doing your course anyway, because I've seen a huge difference with myself.
Thank you, Nikki. Guys, obviously, as usual, send me a message on here if you've got any questions. I'm sure, like, follow Nick as well if you want some amazing ideas for just communicating with people online. Nikki's just now launched a podcast that's off her own back because it's easier than video sometimes, and it's people love listening to them, don't they?
Yeah.
So let's put your podcast link somewhere near here, actually.
Okay.
Let's do that. Let's put your podcast link on this video, like in the comments. And as usual, guys, if you want to up-level your business, send me a message on here. Just because we talk doesn't mean that you'll even get offered a place in working with me, but I'll still shine a light on, okay, this is what you need to do. Sometimes I'll say, now go away for 12 months and do that. And can I say, like, Nikki's the least woo-woo person you could meet. She's like systems analyst, organizational person. So to have, even though the conversation's gone a little bit there were still all those things in place, and she still counts her income and does all the salesy things, but we just do them from a different perspective. So thank you so much again for your time. Very much appreciated, especially since you have little mister in the background.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And I will talk to you again soon. See you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.